Good morning. Good Wednesday morning. How are you all this morning? I've not been to sleep. Let me tell y'all, when they tell you that your arm may be sore after you get this vaccine, I got the Moderna. They gave me my injection up here. My arm hurts all the way down here. All the way down. I'm like, dude, they weren't joking. I got a tetanus shot last month because I split my hand open. Like I cut my hand open and they had to give me a tetanus shot in my right arm. That thing didn't hurt at all. This is crazy sore. But I've been busy this morning. They told me, like, oh, go home, rest, take it easy. What have I done? I vacuumed the garage. I didn't take it easy. I need to take it easy because I've not slept. I don't rest very well. Oh, look, Queen's Revenge Plate is now live. Uh-oh. They've got an Amber Alert out.
I can't even think straight these days. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Sorry, guys. They just put an Amber Alert out for someone where we live.
It was big and full.
New information and growing concern about the well-being of Summer Wells has now issued a statewide Amber Alert. She's 3 feet tall and 40 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes and was last seen wearing gray pants and a pink shirt. Call 1-800-TBI-FIND, and this is what she looks like. So if you guys have seen her or you have any information about her, please call that number. Please call that number. And the number is again 1-800-TBI-FIND. TBIFIND. That's the number you need to call. 1-800-TBIFIND. That's so sad. So sad. But I have to come on early today because, one, I've not had any sleep and I'm getting ready to climb into the bed back there. I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Well, I've got some stuff I need to do. I've got to help Dad with some stuff I need to finish up for him. We're going to do photos, and I've got to do the paperwork end of some tackle that he's going to list online, and it's like pages worth of, I think we've got 60 items. We've got to do photographs of all of them, and then I've got to put the stuff up. I've got to type it up and post it, and so I've got to get that done, but it's not going to get done today because I don't feel good. So that's how it is. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? I had breakfast this morning. Can you believe it? I had eggs for breakfast. I'm still eating them because I went and worked in the garage. I actually worked up an appetite. So, my arm's sore, guys. I'm covering up my arm because it really, for some reason, I'm thinking if I keep it warm, it doesn't hurt so bad. I'm a little crazy. It's okay. Let's see, what else was I going to talk to y'all about? I don't think there's anything else. I was on yesterday. I just won't be on tonight because the boys are going to be here. And I can't be on camera because Jake is like a little ping pong ball. He just pops up whenever. And I just won't get on camera because he'll constantly be in and out of my bedroom. And he's 3 years old. He cannot make the decision whether he wants to be online or not. So, out of respect for his mom, I told her until they can make that decision, I will make sure that they're not shown on camera. Because their privacy needs to be respected. Me, on the other hand, I don't care about being on camera. My parents, if they want to be on camera, they'll be on camera. They're adults. They can do what they choose. I don't force them to get on camera. I don't force them to say anything to anybody. If they say something, they say something. But a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, they're not in the mind of, yeah, I want to get on camera. They don't understand what that means. And I'm not going to take that away from them. And parents that do that sicken me. It really does. It makes me sick. Parents that use their kids for monetary gain. There are tons of them on YouTube and on Instagram. Instagram is worse than YouTube is. And I can name on one hand how many families there are on YouTube and on Instagram just exploiting children and their own kids. You know, so, it's just not cool. If a child can't make up their mind, don't make it up for them. You don't know later on if that child's humiliated because of what you did, with them on camera. Example. This is how poor Toys is. I don't know if you've heard of the Ace family. If you know YouTube, you know the Ace family. Well, I guess the guy, I don't really know what his name is. It's whatever his name is. He just did a boxing match with another guy from YouTube or from TikTok. I don't know. It was stupid. I didn't pay any attention to it. Him and his wife had their niece. It had, I guess, his wife's niece or something. They went to a sex shop. And she picked out a sucker. When I tell you that this sucker was in a phallic shape, look it up if you don't know what a phallic is. If you don't know what phallic means, it was shaped like a penis. He bought it for her. He actually purchased this for his niece. Now, who in their right mind buys something like that for a young girl? I mean, she had to have been 5 or 6. I mean, she was maybe AJ's age, and AJ's only 6. Had that been my husband, I would have took a belt. I would have took his belt. I said, "Give me your belt." I would have took his belt off, and I would have beat him standing there. I'd have gladly went to jail. Then I would have explained to the police officer why I did it. Ain't no way. Who passed away, Mom? Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. Brother Davis died. Yep. I knew that's who it was because you had that sound in your voice. No, Mama. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to talk ill of the dead. Yeah, I talked about it on here. My mom got bad news today that our old pastor, I grew up in a Free Will Baptist church when I was growing up. And he was my pastor for years. I mean, and I adored the man. I really looked up to him. And then as a young girl, you don't want to see your pastor leave. And so I went up to his vehicle because there was another lady from the church standing there. And I said, "But you can't leave. You can't leave us, Brother Frank." And he said, "I'm going to leave, and it don't matter what I do." And I never told Mama that. I don't think I ever told Mama that story. It really hurt me. It hurt my feelings because I was a child in the church. And when you look up to somebody, when you look up to somebody in the church, you look up to your pastor in the church. And I mean, Caleb or anybody else that's, Brother Caleb looks up to his bishop. When you look up to somebody like that and then they just leave, it kind of takes your heart with them. It's like they've just dropped you it's like a punt, like somebody says hut hut, and there you go, they kick the ball, and it's just like out there. It changed. I changed, and it was really hurtful. And from then on out, I didn't have anything to do with him. Well, he came back to the church later on, and my whole opinion of him was broke. I mean, like I was not friendly to him. My grandfather and grandmother were elderly, and they couldn't go to church. And he would go down to visit them. Apparently, I didn't know he did, but later on, the members of the church, and was he preaching there then when they wanted them to take their names off the books?
No, they weren't going to church then because Mama.
Yeah, I know, but was he preaching there then?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so no, but that's why I got mad then too, is because he was preaching at the church. He was the pastor, and my grandma and grandpa had gone to church there years. I mean, every day the church was open, my grandparents were there. And if we lived there, we were in church with my grandma and grandpa and my mom until we moved to town, and then we didn't go. And my grandparents got down, you get aged, you age out. My grandfather couldn't drive. And so that we had to take his keys. Well, he gave up his keys. He gave up his keys to his son because he knew he couldn't drive anymore. He got lost in town one day, and he willfully gave up his keys. He said, I can't do this. And the church members had a meeting one night, and they called my grandparents and said, you might ought to think about taking your name off the books because you're not going to church. Yeah, because they weren't showing up at church. It was going to look bad for the Baptist Association, the Free Will Baptist, the association. And I said, that right there was another reason that I had nothing to do with him and then my grandpa or grandma was having open heart surgery at the hospital. It was Granny. Granny she had fell and broke her hip, and we were all sitting around in a group. And he was sitting across from me. Now, I said something, I was very, very curt with him because at this time, I'm an adult. I'm not a child. He's still my elder. Oh, yeah, he was sitting across from me. It was me, you, Sherry, Tony. I don't think Bruce was there then. I think I was single then. And we were all sitting there around the whole group, and I said something about I would like to see the wonders God's created. The pyramids in Egypt. He said, well, man created those pyramids. And I said, well, I wonder who created man. I said, I wonder who created man.
What are you talking about?
Brother Frank looked at me and he said something about, I said, I wanted to travel. And he said, why? I said, well, I want to see God's creations. I want to go see the pyramids in Egypt. And he said, well, the pyramids were created by man, not by God. And I said, well, who created man? Last time I checked, God created man. I know. But that's why I got angry, because it seemed like he was goading me that whole time. Oh, I do. Because the ill interactions are the ones that I remember. But those are the only ones I remember. Like, I can't remember some things, but I do remember those. And it's hurtful, especially when I looked up to him. I was a good kid. I was a good kid in church. I loved the Lord, and it went downhill real quick. Real quick. When he looked at me and says, I'll do whatever I want to. I don't have to listen to you. You're a child. Well, excuse me. More power to you, dude. And then his wife was older than he was. I thought it was his mom. Now, get this. we go to church with him, and we start going to church there. And I'm a kid. I don't know much about the pastor because I was young, and we're told not to talk in church. Now, my mama slapped my mouth if we were talking. She'd reach over and she'd mash my mouth. I leaned over and I said, "Mom, is that his mother?" She said, "Hush, I'll tell you later." We got out to the truck because Pa took us to church, and she said, "That's his wife." I said, "No, that is not his wife." She said, "Yes, it is." So she was considerably older than him, wasn't she? She had to have been at least 10 or 15 years older than him. Nothing wrong with that. There is nothing at all wrong with that. She was Brother Frank's wife, first wife. His first wife. His first wife wasn't. His first wife was older than him. She looked like she was 10 or 15 years older than him. The whole time they were married? Well, she looked like she was 10 or 15 years older than him. And I always thought it was his mom. It may have been his mom that come to church with him, though. That may be where I'm getting at. But his wife had gray hair. She had solid gray hair. Then she passed away. And I'm telling you, it wasn't hardly any time that he started dating this woman and he married this woman. And people, when I tell you, he brought this woman to the hospital to see my grandmother. And now at this time, I'm like, anti-preachers, do not come talk to me. Do not speak to me about anything, and especially him, because I did not want him anywhere near me. He pops up with this new woman, and I knew his wife had passed away, but they weren't married at the time. They were dating each other. And he pops up with this new woman with him, and she's prissy, and she's standing there, and she's like, "Oh, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine. How are you?" My grandmother had kicked me across the room already. Wasn't in a good mood. And she broke her hip, and she was being mean to me. She'd been horrible to me all day. And I was sick at the time, so I wasn't feeling all that great because I was super anemic. I just lost 4 pints of blood. And I had to hike upstairs to sit with her that night. I didn't even know how sick I was till I got a call that evening from my doctor's office to tell me how sick I was. Well, he shows up to pray for her. He didn't even speak to me. I was like, I just got walked out. I did. I got walked out.
Barnes, Dr. Barnes' wife, she died first.
I was like, mm-mm. So he tried to speak to me, and I said, "No, just go on your way. Just walk on out." He's like, "You got a problem?" I said, "No, I ain't got no problem with you." I said, "You just need to walk on your way. Go on." It was just, oh, my internet's unstable. Is it my internet or is it me? I think I'm unstable. That could be true. Anyway, I mean, you say things in a childlike way, and then it's hard to get things back, but I never would. My mother swore by this man, but I never could find a way to forgive him because after he married this new wife, he didn't go see my grandparents. My grandparents were elderly and sick. He did not go one time to visit my grandparents at home. And he was their pastor. And I'm like, who are you? In the days when I was growing up, if you were sick at home, the pastor would visit your home. He would sit at your home. He would talk to you. He would pray with you. he would spend time with you, and he just didn't. He didn't spend time at my grandparents' house. And I'm like, you know what? You got a problem with my grandparents. I got a problem with you. That's just how I felt about it. I was like, I ain't got no reason to talk to you. You ain't got no reason to talk to me. And that's, I guess I held a grudge. I mean, I don't hold a grudge now, because of everything that's happened this last week. But, as soon as my aunt called, my mom said, no. I heard her say no. I knew it was him that passed away because I just heard it in her voice. He was a great preacher. I mean, I could sit and listen to that man preach all day long. He would preach hellfire and brimstone. He would put the fear of the Lord in your heart, whether you believed or not. I'm going to tell you. He was the kind of preacher that would preach hellfire and brimstone. He could preach it every Sunday, and he would put the fear of God in you every Sunday morning. I mean, every Sunday morning. And he would have a different sermon every Sunday morning. They were never written down. They were never, pre-prepared. So, that's just how we grew up. And, I feel bad that I never, got to repair that relationship between me and him, because I think I probably should have. I should have apologized. I've repaired other relationships that I've had enmity between me and them. But, it's one of those things. It'll be a regret that I'm not going to regret it, because you can't go back and say, I'm going to have this regret the rest of my life. I can't sit with regret, because if I sit and regret everything I've ever done, then I'm going to live in the past. And God's said, no, you're not going to live in that. I've absolved you from this. Move forward. And so, I can't. Oh my gosh, my arm hurts. I'm not going to live in that past. But by the way, if you guys are watching and you're wondering why I'm not speaking to you, is because I don't know you're here. So if you'd like to be spoken to, please say hello. I meant to tell you guys that. Haps doesn't notify me if you're watching outside the room, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Twitch. Just give me a hello, and I'll be glad to speak to you. I just don't know you're here if you're on the site itself. You could be on Haps, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube, and I would not know you're there. So just give me a hello. You don't have to talk to me all the time. You could just say, hi, I'm here, and I'll greet you, and that'll be the end of it. But I didn't want to leave anybody out. I didn't want to not acknowledge someone that maybe have come to watch my channel. So I guess I'm not going to bore anybody else. Oh, John, I'm getting ready to leave because there wasn't nobody in here. So I was just rambling about my mom's, our pastor when I was growing up passed away. I was just rambling about him this morning. But I've not slept, so I've got to get to bed. So tired. My back hurts so bad. I feel like poop. I feel like poo-poo. I will. I most definitely will. I love you all. I'm sorry I won't be back on today, but I am trying to be on every day when I can be. I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. I feel pretty crappy today. As far as aching, I think it's just my chronic pain that's bothering me today. I don't think it's the shot. My arm hurts. It hurts really bad, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to live. Unfortunately, I'm going to live, guys. I'm going to make it. I got the Moderna shot. So, Moderna shot. So, I didn't get the Johnson & Johnson one. I could have gotten that one, but I was worried about getting a blood clot. So, I chose not to get that one. So, okay. Remember to smile at somebody because you never know if that's going to change somebody's entire day. Remember to share the love I share with you with someone else. I don't care who that someone else is. Do it on the subway, do it on the bus, do it on the beach, do it on the road. If you got your windows down, look over at somebody and smile at them and say, you know what? Today's a good day. I hope you have a wonderful day. Guys, you do not know what that means to people. In this day and age of COVID-19 and us not speaking to each other and us wearing masks where people can't see our face, and all of a sudden we can see each other's faces again, speak to people. We don't bite. You don't have to carry on a 50-minute conversation. Be kind. Spread a little kindness. If you're shy, smile. That's all you have to do. You just have to go. That's it. Because that is a hello. Your smile is a hello. And also, if you want to join HAPS and you have not joined HAPS yet, please go to haps.tv/@Queen and you'll get 100 free coins just for joining. You can support other people's work. Not me, but other people. I'd rather you guys not support my work because I don't work. I don't have work. I just sit here and talk. That's all I do. But I love you all, and I will see you guys again tomorrow, hopefully. And yeah, I love you guys. Mama Bear loves you. Bye.